we've talked about what Trump can do for the world, etc., what it means for India. What does India want from this relationship? Because one thing we know for sure from Trump 1.0, that it's always a negotiation. So we know what Trump wants. He wants access to one of the fastest growing markets in the world, which is India. He wants more American goods here. What do we want, Mr. Krishna?
So I think just look at the what India gets from the US and what we supply to the US. If you look at the US imports from India, the largest chunk is IT enabled services, software, textiles, some of the machineries, gems and diamonds, chemical, iron and steel, coffee, tea, pharmaceutical. So these are things which US imports from India. If you look at Indian imports, what India imports from the US, they're generally finished goods, like medical equipment, like aircrafts, like fertilizers, like computer hardware, these kind of things, So I think, in terms of what India wants from the US, I think two things, that even if they want to import, a higher tariff barrier in terms of import from India, it can't be across the board. It has to be only in some sectors. It has to be reasonable. I think, therefore, the right signaling from day one is very, very important. And with President Trump, I think everything is up for negotiation. And of course, second, to my mind, the major stuff would be, on the immigration and especially the H1-B visa issues. I think there India has to place its cards very, very well. And somewhere I think we have to send the signal in a world where, global leaders need to behave more multilaterally. I think one fear is that he would his entire endeavors would be more unilateral and America first and that kind of a thing. So that's not how things operate in from a global perspective today. So I think these are the few areas where India has to be very, very cautious in terms of what it wants from them. And one thing which we should not forget is there are far too many Indians or Indian Americans who are there in very important positions.
In his government, that's the other thing that strikes me. Dr. Zakir Hussain is smiling. I mean,
I want to say
it's a low-key sort of takeover. The biggest companies in the US have those with Indian origin, and they're all in key positions. Dr. Hussain.
But remember that
I want to say that we need a trustworthy partnership based on natural trustworthy relation based on natural partnership. Then other things will fall down automatically. So it's working.
Yeah. We can hear you. We can hear you.
That's why other thing will fall down. Either he wants China, we should contain China, give us latest cutthroat technology. If you want IT sector, if you want job backs to America, make our trade liberal, invest in our country, we will reciprocate them. If you want to respect our talent worker, we will facilitate your emergence. And we can also mediate in several areas. Like you are becoming expansionist in the world now. You are claiming Canada, you are claiming Mexico, you are claiming...
I don't know if anyone's taking that seriously. Is he really going to take over Canada and Mexico? Some things have to be for his Truth Social fans. So we have to make out the difference there. Okay, quick word from Amit Mahajan. What do you think India needs from Trump? What should we ensure we get out of this relationship, considering we're in a very good position now versus Trump 1.0?
You ask me, from my perspective, I need two things. One, advanced technologies. When I say advanced technologies, it is semiconductors, it is quantum, these are the areas that we need to work on. Second, I need a lot of FDIs from US. Today, India's FDI dream can be fulfilled better by a United States than any other country. So I need to attract the most important parts, the advanced technologies and the funds.
Ambassador Shankar, last word from you, and I'm running out of time, so I request that we keep it sharp. What's the one thing that India should have very clear in her mind when we go to the negotiating table, because it will be a negotiation?
Yeah, we want access to advanced technologies, as the previous speaker said, because that is really what we need to pull India to the next level of growth. economically, both in the defense sector and in dual-use technologies. We want the commitment for the GE HAL jet engine deal to go through and not be held up. We want the initiative on critical and emerging technologies, which provided a new strategic thrust to the relationship, to continue and be strengthened rather than thwarted, because there are some doubts about how far Trump supports technology cooperation. But the point is that this technology cooperation actually strengthens US global competitiveness and also de-risks supply lines for the US. Now, the key question is, how is Trump going to deal with China? Because he's already softened his tone. From 60% tariff after his election, he's talking about an additional 10% tariff on China. He's also talked about a 10% tariff globally. So would it be on par with India, or would there be some extra tariffs on Chinese goods? And strategically, how does he propose to deal with China? Again, there are question marks. He is very keen to visit. There have been back-channel contacts between the Trump...
Yes, his tone, I think his tone on China will be something to watch, because he's already saying, I spoke with Xi Jinping, I'm going to fix TikTok, etc. So he started off with a benign tone with China versus what we saw in most of his first presidency. But yes, this is a story I think will unfold. We'll have so much to talk over the next 4 years, because now it's an even closer world, isn't it, post-COVID? So we'll keep an eye on what he says in his inauguration. Of course, you will see all of those updates live right here on NDTV Profit. So stay tuned for that. But for now, that's all the time we have on Big Question. We'll return tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll talk about what Trump means for the world. Stay tuned.